everybody. My name is George. I'm living here in China. I wanted to show you my apartment because I'm quite impressed with what this school actually provided me with. And it was one of the incentives for me to actually come to the school was knowing that they were providing a fairly decent apartment. It's kind of important to have a comfortable place to live because all said and done, this is where one is going to spend a lot of one's time, perhaps in China, because it's so, crowded to travel anywhere, and and there are only so many things to do. It's not like South Korea where you've got tons of coffee shops and going out seems to be something that is a fun thing to do all the time. Uh, China is not set up the same way like that. So having a comfortable place to live in China is a very important deal. What makes this apartment so special, though, compared to some of the other apartments I've had in China elsewhere in different provinces, is that they remodeled it. And so part of the remodeling included providing, things, various creature comforts, just to make the whole deal a special experience for the foreign teacher. So let me start off with the sofa set, which is a three-piece sofa set. There we go. There's one. There's the main piece, and then there's this other one over here. So I have it set up so that, if I do invite guests over, we can all talk and chat, and they all surround this glass coffee table. Okay, so that was a nice thing. When I originally came here, I was very impressed with that when I saw this apartment. And I saw actually what they provided online because, and I just wanted, so when I actually checked it out firsthand, I was even that much more impressed. Up towards the ceiling area, and this is where typically you're going to find the air conditioning unit in China. This is an air conditioner slash heater. So, because it is situated so close to the ceiling, the heating aspect of it is only so effective because when this port over here opens, the heat that comes out of it can only make its way so far, with through because the fans can only push it so far, and heat has a tendency to rise. So a lot of the heat that it does produce just ends up going back up towards the ceiling. So you would tend to feel a little bit cold if you only had to exclusively rely on this type of air conditioning system. I've got two of these in my apartment, one here in the living room and one in my bedroom. But in this part of the province, because it's a little bit further towards the north, I've got as well down here these radiators. Now, we don't control those. In China, those get turned on by the government. In this province, in Henan, they get turned on around the middle of November. So even if it gets cold before, around the middle of November, you're relying pretty much on these for heat. And so if it does get too cold, sometimes you actually have to wear a jacket in China in your apartment just to stay warm enough. And so if you live south of here, paradoxically or, ironically or however you want to phrase it, you actually will feel colder because in your apartment because they won't have these radiators because they feel they don't have to warrant their use. And you'll be freezing your ass off in your apartment if it does get cold, and it often does, because you're going to be exclusively relying on these air conditioners that are up towards the ceiling. And so, again, being here in this part of the province, I'm thankful that I do have these radiators to rely on as well for heat. So in this apartment so far, I usually have not had to wear my jacket, only maybe a little bit before these get turned on. So happy about that. And if you've been, paying attention to this video so far, you've noticed that the camera is sort of pointed towards these curtains. And most Chinese apartments will not come with such, beautiful looking curtains and this elegant looking curtain rod from which they hang. And so I'm happy that I have that. It was a very nice touch. moving towards the wall is my flat screen TV, which this apartment came with as well. It was put up, it's manufactured by the Haier Company, a very famous company in China. And that name is kind of a central theme, kind of running through this apartment, because over here too, embossed on the refrigerator door, is the name Haier. Okay, so I have a Haier flat screen TV. I've got a Haier refrigerator. Over there, this air conditioning unit that I was showing you before is made by the Midea company. And if we swoop down over here, this water dispenser, which which provides hot water, made by the Midea company. So pretty much all of the stuff that I have, including my washing machine over here, that's the Haier Company. My hot water heater in my bathroom, the Haier Company. And over here in my kitchen, we have Midea for the exhaust fan. Let me turn it on. It's a very sophisticated exhaust fan. Looking at it, turn it off. And a Haier microwave oven. You can see the name there. And this thing for heating stuff up, like frying pan, boiling water, whatever, Haier as well. You know, these are domestically produced products, and so typically if you were like in a North American household, like in Canada or the United States, you'd probably more than likely see stuff that was imported from here in Asia. But here they produce it, so they make use of their own stuff. Good for them. Anyway, I've made my way into my bedroom to show you my huge bed, which I was thrilled with when I saw it. But upon using it initially, I was not so thrilled. Why? Because this red mattress here, yes, these red mattresses are not comfortable to sleep on. And that would beg another why question, because the filler material is actually coconut husks. So these are very hard. Maybe a lot of Chinese people think they're healthy, and maybe they're cheap to manufacture, therefore to purchase as well, but they are very hard to sleep on, not very comfortable. So eventually, I got this, which is directly on top of it, but this flattened out. It's kind of a foam kind of pad thing, and it's made to size. It actually fits right over the same size as this red mattress, but it flattened out fairly quickly. So now, more recently, I just got this, bought it on Taobao. It's much better than this, and it's very comfortable. And now finally, I can, sleep a lot more comfortably than I initially could. So there you go. So that's the bed. Now shifting away towards the other side of the bedroom is my computer desk and computer setup. So it's, again, Chinese products. We have a Lenovo computer tower, a Lenovo flat screen monitor, and a Lenovo printer. Okay, so that's what we have over here. So I was happy with that. And of course, it's hooked up to Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is free. My utilities are free here in this apartment. I feel very happy about that. I still try to, not use as much electricity as I can, because electricity in this province, I think, is coal generated. So they actually burn a lot of coal just to generate electricity. And I want to kind of have as small a carbon footprint as possible, because I want to be thinking of myself as an environmentally conscious person, or conscientious. So, anyway, that is my apartment, and this sink is a nice touch. That was part of the renovation. And if you aim towards the ceiling, the false ceilings and light fixtures and all that sort of stuff was also part of the renovation. And the Chinese teachers, they don't get any of this stuff. The incentive for them to teach is maybe just teaching itself. And so the accommodations are not something they would normally think of because maybe they're used to just living in, the basic kind of apartment that hasn't been remodeled. But, they wanted to, like I was saying before, they wanted to provide, or maybe I don't know if I said it in these words, but they really wanted to provide an incentive to the foreign teacher to actually come and maybe stay at the school because, like I said, you spend a lot of your time in your apartment. If I go out right now, there are only so many places you can go, and then eventually you have to come back to your apartment. And if you have a lousy place to stay, you're just not going to be that comfortable, and you might only stay for 1 year and then leave and try to find something better. So that's what they provide, and I was happy to show it to you. And so if you ever do decide to come to China, really find out what they have to offer because feeling comfortable is a very important thing. Anyway, take care, and any comments or questions, let me know. So bye for now.